I'm Patrick Lancaster, and things continue to heat up on a minute-by-minute basis. Trump has said that everyone should evacuate the capital of Iran, Tehran. And we didn't even put out an evacuation order request in Baghdad in 2003 when I myself was in the Persian Gulf at the beginning of the Iraq War. The U.S.'s special Operation Iraqi Freedom, which ended up killing over 1 million there. We didn't even order or say for an evacuation then. Well, in World War II we did, in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and other Japanese cities before a nuke was dropped. Is Israel or the United States about to nuke Iran? What's going to happen? Where is this going? And on top of this call for this evacuation, there's an order for U.S. defense groups and forces being deployed to the Middle East. Where is this going? There's a report of, and video evidence of an attack by Israeli forces on the main state television station or media of Iran, where we can see here live on air the station was hit by a strike and reportedly 18 people were killed. Now, were all these journalists, were 18 journalists killed like that by this Israeli strike? We're gonna have to see what information continues to come out. And on top of this attack on media in Iran by Israel inside their own country is cutting down on the freedoms of media. It's been reported that some cities, including Haifa, Israel, are being restricted from foreign media. And as well, Israel is turning off live feed streams on YouTube. The International Atomic Energy Association chief Rafael Grossi has said that the uranium enrichment plant in Iran's Natanz has been seriously damaged or completely destroyed. And he's talking about the centrifuges. And not necessarily by the strikes, but by the power outages caused by the strikes. And Israel's ambassador to the U.S. has now said that they are preparing and have prepared a huge operation, a new operation against Iran. And now images are coming out of possible attack directly on the headquarters of Mossad by Iran. And Trump has said the U.S. will respond harshly if Iran does anything, quote unquote, to U.S. military in the region. And Israel has said that they have killed the top commander of the Iranian military, an aide to the supreme commander of Iran, for a second time. This is the second top commander they have knocked out, they say. And now the numbers are coming out saying Iran has launched 380 ballistic missiles and in 15 waves of attack. And Tel Aviv, as we see, continues to burn. And one thing that's being noticed in a lot of the footage that's coming out of Israel is that there's less and less air defense rockets being fired against the ballistic missiles coming from Iran. And Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders has introduced a bill to quote unquote stop Trump from going into an illegal war in Iran, saying, "Today, I introduced legislation to stop Trump from dragging us into an illegal war with Iran. Another war in the Middle East could cost countless lives, waste trillions more dollars, and lead to more deaths, more conflicts, and more displacement," he said. And here we can see Israeli military footage of night attacks in western Iran onto military facilities. And it seems Trump is involved with another spat with one of his longtime followers, this time Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson has come out against Trump taking the U.S. into a war with Iran. And Trump has fired back saying, somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that, in all caps, Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. And it can already be seen an increased amount of Israeli citizens leaving, particularly headed towards Cyprus. And on top of Trump recommending or ordering an evacuation of the Iranian capital, India is also recommending their citizens to leave. Now, on top of that, there are recommended evacuations from Israel. This includes at least China, Argentina, and Germany. They're recommending their citizens to leave Israel. Trump is on his way back from the G7 summit and has ordered the National Security Council to be ready to work. And not only is there a decrease in the amount of anti-air or air defense rockets being fired by Israel as part of the Iron Dome, now there is video evidence of malfunctions of these rocket systems. And the U.S. Defense Secretary Peter Hegseth has ordered preparations for the potential U.S. involvement in Israel's ongoing operations against Iran if President Trump gives the green light. Now, this has been reported by Israeli media. And it's also noted that U.S. Central Command, likely including Commander General Michael E. Curlia, supports the U.S. intervention in Iran. But reportedly, there's other opposition from other senior officials in the Trump administration. And now it's expected that Trump is going to give a final offer to Iran. We'll have to see if they take it or not, or how this actually ends. And more footage is being released by Israeli military. Here we can see Israeli strikes hitting Iranian kamikaze drone pads and their crews. And we can see here in this satellite image that the Iranian airport Mashhad Shahid Hashemeinejad in northeastern Iran, where an Iranian Air Force Boeing 747 tanker was believed to have been destroyed. Even old U.S. equipment that Iran still has from the 70s when the U.S. gave them these aircraft have been destroyed now. Here we can see a couple F-14s that were supplied by the U.S. being destroyed. And again, we see air-to-air combat, Israeli helicopters destroying more Iranian kamikaze drones. And again, Israel keeps talking about the assassination of Iran's supreme leader and saying it's not off the table. And Iran is saying the biggest ballistic missile attack in history on Israel is coming. And at the same time, we continue to see ballistic missile attacks on Iran. And it's not only Israel putting out footage of their attacks. Here we can see the Iranian military firing Harash kamikaze drones on Israel. Israel is now claiming they have destroyed 2/3 of Iran's missile launchers. Executions are happening in Iran. A Turkish man has been executed for spying for Mossad. Everybody's talking about Iran's nuclear weapons, Well, we saw Kelsey Gabbard, the director of U.S. intelligence, months ago said that their position was Iran was not making nuclear weapons, and Iran has denied them making nuclear weapons. And even now, Iranian's president has said that advocates for developing nuclear weapons have no place in the republic's politics. So the president's literally trying to push anyone out of the political atmosphere in Iran that wants nuclear weapons. Even the Iranian foreign minister says they continue to adhere to their obligations under the nuclear weapons treaty, saying that nuclear weapons have no place in the Middle East. This is what the foreign minister of Iran is saying. Now officially, we can see that if not a direct hit, but damage to the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv has taken place. The U.S. Embassy has been damaged by Iranian attacks on Tel Aviv. And here we can see Mossad showing off their laboratories for making their kamikaze drones to Israeli media. And now it's public knowledge that the Israeli Defense Forces are using schools for shelter during these attacks. The Israeli military using schools. It's been posted on the internet by soldiers of massive amounts of Israeli military soldiers using schools as shields, you could say, sleeping in the schools. So later when there's an attack on a school, are they going to say that Iran is targeting schools? Well, if the soldiers are inside the schools, what do you think is going to happen? And here we can see the special forces and the Israeli police arresting Israeli citizens for supposedly cooperating with Iran. Israel's Haifa power plant took intense hits in the night. And I want to hammer in the fact that US intelligence months ago said Iran was not making nuclear weapons. And now they're also saying they were years away from making nuclear weapons, even though Israel says Iran was racing towards a bomb. The US intelligence says it was years away. Not only was Iran not actively developing nuclear weapons, it was also 3 years away from being able to produce and deliver one to a chosen target. U.S. intelligence sources told CNN. CNN also said that U.S. intelligence agencies and the International Atomic Energy Association assesses that Israel has caused damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. There are concerns that the strike could push Iran to do something U.S. officials believe it has not done before: build a nuclear weapon. Now, this is just counterproductive, you could say. There's speculation that these attacks by Israel is actually going to push Iran into making these weapons. I'm going to keep bringing you everything I can here from afar, but on the point. And let me know if I should go there or if I should go there, where you want me to go, because I report to you, my viewers. So I'm going to keep bringing you this, because this could be the start of World War III, the end of the world if there's a huge nuclear war. We're going to keep bringing you everything. Let's pray there is no nuclear war and this ends peacefully. Please support my work with the link on the screen or in the description. I'm only supported by you, my viewers. I report to you, no one else. Show the world together what's happening. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what else you want to see, where you want me to go, what topics you want me to show, what you want me to cover.